In the previous episode, I spent most of my time complaining about the weather and not being able to do the things that I had planned. My day was made worse by trapping my finger in my van door and running out of chocolate. I ended the day with a movie and cuddles with my dog, and the next day I made myself feel better by going on a bike ride as we continue on our 64-day adventure.
You know what I find really weird is that everyone doesn't like different noises. So I'm pitched here, right next to a road. I can see the road. It's not a busy road, but you can still hear cars go past, vans go past, etc. They're not, it's not constant traffic, but I don't know, there's one, there's two, there's three. I don't know if you heard that. And now there'll be nothing for about 30 seconds or so, and then you might get another one. But that doesn't bother me whatsoever. And I know lots of other people don't like being pitched next to a road. They don't like the noise of the traffic. That doesn't bother me. Whereas the motorhome parked next to me has got a cover on top of their barbecue, and they didn't put any cable ties on it to tie it down. So last night, the thing was flapping, and I could hear that. And it's weird, isn't it? And there's like, I can see, I don't know whether that's a tent or an awning, because there's a van next to it. It looks like a tent though. But I'm watching that flap and I'm just like, I don't know how anybody can be in that. There is a leisure centre down here. Now I can see it straight out my little porthole window. It's like next door to the campsite. So it's a school and it's a leisure centre, and a lovely lady, member of staff here, I was talking to, she said you can go to the leisure centre. I think she said it's something like £4 or £5. You can go swimming, you can use a steam room, you can use a sauna. And I was like, that actually sounds really nice. The problem is, I can't go because I haven't brought a swimsuit. Because though, even if the temperatures get to 25 or stupidly high degrees centigrade, whatever, if it got really hot, Scottish waters are still cold. I'm still not going to want to be going into the water in my swimsuit. I'm still going to want to have on a wetsuit. So I only brought my wetsuit. I didn't bring a swimsuit. So however much it would be lovely to go to that pool and sit in the steam room and the sauna, can't really do it in a wetsuit.
So instead, we went on a long beach walk where we also got to do a little bit of nature spotting. Dead nature, but still.
So I asked someone who works here about the castle, about whether you could actually get to it.
Now I did record something where I explained about this castle, but I waffled on for far too long, so I deleted it. But basically, there's a ruined castle near the campsite. I just don't know how to get to it.
And she doesn't know. So we were checking Google Maps and there doesn't appear to be any trail, and when you try to direct to it or create a walking route, it just kind of takes you down the road and they don't expect you to jump like an acre into the castle grounds. So I was just looking. I don't want to be wandering around the roads with Winston because he doesn't like the roads anyway, and it is just there. So we're going to have our beach walk, and then either late this afternoon or sometime tomorrow I'll just wander out by myself and see if I can find a way to it. I'm sure there will be. I mean, Scotland's got the right to roam, hasn't it? And some people must have walked to it. There might be like a trail going through it or something that you can't see on the map, or that you can't see on satellite, should I say. But I don't really want to be wandering around the roads or hopping fences with Winston. So I'll go out later and do it. Right now, we're just going to enjoy our blustery beach walk.
One thing I love about Winston is his pure excitement for almost anything. He's not just a glass half full, he is a glass overflowing. I was listening to a podcast recently about how humans habituate. So basically we get used to something and then it delivers less happiness. Whereas when I look at Winston, he could walk on this beach every day for a year and he would love each day just as much as the first. His happiness would not diminish. And I just love that about Winston and about dogs in general.
Right, I'm going to use this stick, or this piece of wood, should I say, not stick, is it? And lay it here to indicate that's where we came in, because I couldn't find it last time. So, popping that there. Actually not that windy down here. I think we're sheltered by the dunes, although that could be my famous last words. But what I was going to say was that the tide is actually coming in at the moment. High tide is at about 1 o'clock and it's currently around 11 o'clock. So I don't think we'll get cut off because we can just escape into the dunes, but it is just something we've got to be aware of, that the tide is coming in. So I don't want to put myself in any precarious locations where we may have to paddle our way out, but I think we'll be fine. One more step along the world I go. So now I'm wondering if the internet was correct, because all this sand here is wet. I'm right next to the shoreline, right next to the water, and all this is wet, which to me would indicate that the water was once here but now isn't, and that the tide was instead going out instead of coming in. So if you look at the sand, you've got really dry sand, kind of a little bit wet sand, and really wet sand. So yeah, that would indicate to me the tide was up there and it's been going out. The sand's been drying out as it goes. But the internet said the tide is coming in. Maybe I'm wrong. Someone please explain this to me. Winston doesn't care which way the tide goes, as long as he's got his toy. He is a happy boy. Okay, so I'm just trying to show you. I'm going to get a reflection on the screen no matter what I do, but you can see the red line is where we're at now, 11 o'clock, high tide, 1 p.m. Benbecula, which is where we are. Unless this is the other side of Benbecula. Maybe I've got the wrong location. Don't know. Let's see. Because if the water rises on one side, would it lower on the other side of the island? Or would they both rise? Is the bit in the middle of the northern Hebrides? Right, so I'm currently walking on the west coast of the Outer Hebrides. But in between the Outer Hebrides and mainland Scotland, there's obviously another bit of ocean. I don't know, is that the same ocean? Is that a different one? Does that rise and fall at the same time as this one on the west coast? Because it's only a very tiny island. I have no idea how this works. Do they both go up at the same time and then both go down at the same time, or do they go in and out as opposites? I'm really confused by this. I need to get on Google and find the answer to this, because not sure how that works.
So I did try and Google this, but tides are very complex, and all I got was that tides flow around islands. Now I don't fully know what that means, but if anyone has a simple explanation, please put it in the comments. Now if you're wondering what it is that I'm doing here, I'm taking this picture. Now that might make me a little bit sad, but I really don't care because it made me smile.
So I'm not a photographer by any stretch of the imagination. I have no idea what I'm doing with this camera. Sometimes I play around with a few settings and see what happens, but I really have no idea of what I'm doing. I just take a lot of photographs, and sometimes there's a good one amongst all the bad ones. Water looks lovely and very inviting. Where's it going, Wince? Right, I'm falling, you're in the way, so you get it. So I kind of want to swim over to that, but you can see the waves out at sea and the tide is moving through here quite quickly. So I'd probably start off here but then end up over there somewhere. What are you doing, Wentz? Come on, get your ball. Come on, go look round there. Right, this is the end of the beach. We currently can't walk anywhere. So this scoops in around here, cuts us off there, and then also round there. We came from down that way, so this is completely surrounding us. I'm guessing once the tide has gone out, then you are able to walk down there. But at the moment, I don't think, I mean I've not seen at the other side of those rocks, but I don't think we can actually do that. So we're just going to walk around here and head back, I think. Winston's found his own little island. how pretty these flowers are growing in the centre. Look who's made an appearance. She's going to be gone soon, but she does brighten up the place beautifully. That's the best filter in life. Bit of sunshine. Right, so we walk down the beach that way, but what I am thinking is that we go this way and then we head back to the campsite down the grass track. That will give Winston a little bit of time to dry and to shake off some of the sand. So I have less sand in my caravan because I'm fed up of sweeping it out and shaking it off blankets. It's everywhere. It's a small price to pay, but if we head back this way, we should be able to minimise it. Found a dead little crab, but there's actually quite a lot of them, so there's one, there's two, there's one, there's one. Loads of them, everywhere. So this part of the Outer Hebrides is pretty flat, which is why I've not been getting excited about many of the walks around here, because I like a good view. I like to walk and hike up a hill to get a good view, and I've not been able to find any of those walks on this little part of the Outer Hebrides in Benbecula. But whilst we were walking back to the campsite, I saw this. I don't know if you can see it. There's this mound in the dunes, which I think is the highest one, especially around here anyway. So we're going to go up that. That is going to be our hike, and hopefully from up there we're going to get a good view of the beach and possibly even the campsite, because the campsite's just there. Again, I can't see where I'm pointing, but I think it's here on the screen. So we might be able to see the pod from there and the beach and get some nice photographs from the top. So let's go scale our mini beach Everest. Sorry, Fuzzy. Nature again. The sun makes. We'd stand here all day if it it wasn't for my belly starting to rumble, let's head back to the campsite and get some lunch. Come on, Wins. Right, try not to slide. Keep going. I need to take my own advice. Kind of appears out of nowhere. So I'm just walking up here because I want to go see if the tide has indeed came in or gone out. This is where we entered the beach. So this is where we started the walk over this little mound here. And I've laid that bit of wood down, that plank of wood, which wasn't useful in the end because we didn't come back this way, but let's just go have a look. Is the tide closer to the wood or further away from the wood? That's the question. Let's go see. I think that's closer. Maybe it is coming in then. That looks closer to me. So my my rationale was incorrect and the internet was right. The tide is coming in and soon it will be at high tide.
And with that mystery semi-solved, we headed back to the pod.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Oh, even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do.
Right, so I'm just making some food and the sun is shining. The wind is still blowing, so I can't open the windows and I can't have the door open because the door just blows shut, which is a shame because it's such a lovely day outside. I am tempted to stick on the wetsuit and go for a swim because it looks so lovely outside, but that wind's a little bit too strong. I don't know if I want to go out in the wind.
Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for.
Instead, I stayed in the pod, had some lunch, and then treated myself to a cinnamon bun.
Right. With you and I, the future is bright. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times,
So I've taken Winston for an evening walk and I've just fed him, and now I'm wandering down the side of the road trying to get to this castle, and I hope that van driver waved at you. So I can see it, but I can't see any clear route to it. So there's the ruins. Right, so that looks like the entrance to the house, so I'm going to go down here. I really feel as though I'm trespassing right now, and I don't like it. I don't like the feeling of it. I don't think I am, but it still doesn't sit right with me. So have a quick film, a quick couple of photos, and then get off or get out. So these are the ruins of Borve Castle, and it was constructed between 1344 and 1363, and it probably stood on a small island in a tidal loch. But over time the loch has been filled with sand that's been blown in, which has created this flat, dry ground. Now in the 14th century it was the most important castle on the Isle of Benbecula, and probably the most important castle in the Outer Hebrides. It was occupied by the MacDonalds of Benbecula until the Jacobite Rising in 1715, when it was then abandoned. So Borve Castle done, it's a tick in the box. Now let's get off this land before somebody shoots me. I don't think they're going to shoot me, but I still don't like the feeling of trespassing. I don't think I'm trespassing, I don't think I am, but I could be wrong. I still don't like it, so I'm going. But isn't that lovely in the background? Oh, don't know which way I'm turning the camera. Gotta walk down the road now and hope nobody runs me over. So between getting shot and hit by a car, this was one very dangerous outing. Under a fence. Oh. Could also get blown up by some gas. Why am I thinking of all the ways I could horribly die? Okay, let's get back to the campsite. Back at the pod, I made a little snack, and I love these pizzas when I'm travelling because firstly they're so cheap at about 50 or 60 pence each, secondly they fit perfectly into my air fryer, and thirdly they just help to fill a hole when I'm feeling a little bit peckish, which I always am. I'm still hungry. I could eat the other pizza that I've got. I have got another one. So I'm tempted to put it in the air fryer
I'm going to do some work to see if I can distract myself. Because I'm just eating for the sake of eating. I've had more than enough today, but, you know, I'm just very greedy.
So that about wraps up another day. Well, the fun stuff at least. I'm sure you don't want to watch me working for the rest of the evening.